You want to make this Bearcat defense scramble, put them back on the heels right from the get-go.
Jesse Dickerson, Brian Garland, and Iffy Seals are officiating crew, a Big 12 veteran group. As we open up play, K-State in the white, Bearcats in the black, in front of a great crowd here today at Bramlage Coliseum, a near full house for the Wildcat Big 12 opener. Sundell going strong, trying to post up, has her shot blocked without Aisha Dia and Destiny Thomas. Thomas, a starter from a year ago. Looks like Thomas is closer to coming back than Dia. Back cut here by Jackson. K-State defends it well, but does allow the basket.
They themselves, the last couple trips, very good execution offensively.
Sundell pressured out high, turns the ball over. Picked up by Hilton. She'll lay it in on the run out.
You've got to be more aggressive. You've got to stay on your toes, and they've got to find some ways here to execute.
Poindexter, top of the circle.
Shot ready. That is Temira Poindexter.
38% is what the Wildcats shoot from behind the three-point line as a team. Second best in the Big 12, top 15 in the country. Offside rebound goes to Cincinnati. 1 of 7, though, as all K-State has started so far to this point.
Now you without Ioka Lee in the lineup. Jeff Mittie makes that substitution. It changes how Cincinnati can guard you as well. But that's where you've got to generate second chance opportunities. Offensive glass, next pass. K-State makes them pay.
Bearcats 3 of 11 from the field to start. They've taken just 1 3. Sundell with a block shot on the drive by Jackson. That's the 11th block of the season for Sundell, who ranks in the conference top 10. Taylor gets a post-up opportunity. Left-hand layup. Very good teams in their MTE, Florida Gulf Coast, one of those. Perennial power. Jillian Hayes puts a shoulder into a defender and scores.
That's one of the things I think about her game, makes her so difficult to guard. She'll step in that low post, she'll step on that short corner, be able to go right by the defender.
How about that blow by? Speaking of going right by.
And force people, if they're going to give you the ability to put it on the floor, make them pay.
K-State, a very deep team. They'll play 10 players, and they'll often get all 10 involved early. The only one that was a question mark today was Sanchez. Mop it on a drive and finish.
That's your job. You're going to get the
7 gap goats in one game. K-State has seen their stats to go, the analytics, to 90+% win percentage. And Glenn able to get another steal. 5 turnovers now for Cincinnati. Mop it on the other end, lays it in.
Live ball turnovers, that's been a killer for Cincinnati, especially in the games they have struggled and they have lost. K-State has been one of the most efficient teams. You create your own chaos, finish on the other end.
So after a slow start, K-State on a 6-0 run has closed the gap. A long 3 at the end does not go. Gisela Sanchez makes her return after missing 5 games with a wrist injury. So K-State will in fact get all 10 players in here early. A little zone by K-State to open up the second quarter.
Cincinnati just one of their last 9 in that first 10 minutes. Big a piece of that puzzle is you've got to be able to get penetration. They've got to find a way to attack the gaps and get inside this Kansas State defense.
Amani Lester with a block shot. Kansas State, another good defensive work and stop against this Cincinnati team. Jaelyn Glenn a drive, a hanger that will hit the rim and go in. Glenn with 5.
You've got to run Glenn sides, even Walker off that 3-point line, and then you've got to be effective off the bounce. If you're Jaelyn Glenn, take advantage of your size and your speed and length one-on-one and get to the rim.
Both Glenn twins, widely redshirting this year, are right-handed, but both prefer laying it in.
Your system, they can't be quick shots. That's really almost just like an easy turnover going the other direction.
Sanchez. You see she's got a wrap on that left wrist to help protect it. The rebound comes to Amani Lester, and Lester fouled.
And a big piece of that is just limited amount of minutes she's had over the last 2 years. And then you've got to be ready 15 points a game. It is simple. As we said earlier about a player like Eliza Maupin.
The former number 8 post player in the country. Stripped to the wall here is Cincinnati by Walker. Sanchez, 2 dribbles, or 2 steps, no dribbles.
But this Kansas State squad all season so far, it has been about the length and speed of their D and not allowing teams to take advantage and to dissect them. It has been stifling from the get-go. One of the best teams in the country so far this year. And as they continue to attack and get out in transition, that's where you make people pay.
Foul on Hilton was her first. Second on the Bearcats. It's been a relatively low foul game, but another turnover forced by K-State's defense. Those long arms of this K-State defense. Glenn in transition. Pull, pop, and hit.
so far this season. So you've got to figure out that attack mentality from the get-go.
Three-pointer put up by Abby Holtman.
As we said, a group that's going to crash the offensive glass. They've got to find a way to generate some second-chance opportunities.
Yeah, it does. They lead the Big 12 in free throw shooting at 80%.
But if you're Hayes, that mid-range jumper, that's going to have to be money here this afternoon.
Quick hit into Lee. Out to Poindexter. Unable to hit the three-pointer. K-State trying to spread the floor against the Bearcats. Full head of steam the other way. Wild shot, and a foul will be called as Poindexter.
88% in this Bearcat offense. Get to the line, force the action.
Looks like it's Indiba. Hayes lurking as help. Quickly the ball in, quickly the ball out for K-State of the offensive set. Sides a guarded three. Couldn't get it. Back tap lands with Mann. Bearcats going the other way. Mann into Sides. Could not get the shot. Offensive rebound, and Indiba over Lee. Couldn't get it, but a foul on Yoki.
When you're scrambling and you're out of position, that's where this Cincinnati team needs to be able to get. They got to put K-State. So much of this right now for how can Cincinnati attack? What can they take advantage of?
Sidestep by Sides. Hammers the three. Mittie says working with Sides about the sidestep three and then eventually the backing up three-pointer. Tough shot, hit.
Hilton has come to from Texas A&M. She has been a difference maker for them, especially at that point position.
Drive and a block by K-State with a foul.
Give yourself a chance, get to the line, force the action, foul trouble sooner or later. That could start to add up.
First free throw good for Mann. Misses the second, a rare miss, and a rebound comes to K-State. Wildcats trying to go long on the home run ball to Sundell. It gets tapped away by the Bearcats. A 7-3 run here by Cincinnati to make a modest dent into this lead for the Wildcats. Here's Mann trying to work on Walker. Fake the spin. Shot is up. It'll miss. Sides and the rebound go out of bounds. It'll go to K-State.
She's really intentional finding shooters, but when she doesn't make those things happen, Coach Merriweather said that she can be really hard on herself, and there's really no room for her to be able to be hard on her fork.
Serena Sundell to the free throw line. Texas A&M, she was second for the Aggies in assists, but yet didn't play that many minutes. And so you think about where she comes from this season and having to take over the primary ball handling for Cincinnati, be that true leader on the floor. They need her to step up here big, especially to close out this first half.
Walker causing all sorts of issues out on the perimeter for Mann, and then Taylor able to in the bonus in the second quarter after no fouls were called for the first. Taylor hits to K-State from Missouri State, two-time All-Valley, and the 6th player of the year last year.
She's given Jeff Mittie just over 14 minutes per game.
There was contact. Mann did the right thing by selling it, and she hits the three. The first of the game for the Bearcats.
And now Kansas State, they've got to attack when she's not on the floor.
Glenn in transition. You mentioned just a bucket. Mann tried to sell contact, didn't get the whistle. Taylor with the rebound. Numbers for the Wildcats. In transition, Sides back to Walker. Whips the ball into Taylor. Off the window, couldn't get it. And the Bearcats, the rebound and a foul.
How can Cincinnati keep themselves in it, keep it close?
One more for Byers. Paris, Kentucky. K-State rotates it around, trying to get a spot for Lee. Sundell lost it for a moment, fouled.
Keeps that dribble alive, so patient when she gets those touches.
Heading into conference play on a high note. She has averaged 15 points, 8 assists a game.
The Wildcats handling their opponents very easily in non-con. And a big test here at home this afternoon to open conference.
And a block shot, Sundell all the way to the basket and a foul. 7 by K-State after neither team had a foul in the first.
Many more whistles in this 10 minutes, that is no doubt.
Sundell makes the free throw.
This extended zone for Kansas State, a lot of pressure forcing the Bearcats 25, 30 feet away from the basket. Not a lot of opportunities to penetrate and get to the rim.
Jackson trying to drive and kick out the Mann, who catches and hits another three. 9 for Chloe Mann. And a big return for her family back to Manhattan. final few seconds of the second quarter. Lee working on Hayes. Goes up strong and scores her first basket. And it ends the first half of play with K-State in front. Wasting 39%, 26% for the Bearcats. And we'll see what the second half has in store for us. Sundell will operate what looks like a set play for K-State right out of the third quarter. And it's wide open for Zy Walker. Three-pointer is good.
It's just really bothering them, so they're just going to try and get some more movement in the second half, really stick to the defensive plan.
Critical. Now, as you said, Ioka Lee with 2 fouls. Looks as though Jeff Mittie's going to leave her. She's so effective is that she can attack you in multiple ways. They got to find a way to get her some ISOs, whether it's that short corner, maybe top of the key.
Sundell. It's K-State. What they do well, moving the basketball. Sundell hanging and scoring through the lane. Her first field goal.
It's got much deeper on that post, Brian, and that's where they want her to be. They got to get her those touches.
10 turnovers now for the Bearcats. Another good position. Catch by Lee. Easy lay-in.
Top 15 in the nation here so far this season.
Drive and a miss. Lee gets the rebound. That was Hilton trying to create. Snyder now on the post, defending Lee in transition. Poindexter left open, buries the three. That is among the top 4 in the Big 12. And if they get to double figures, they are unbeaten this year when 10 threes are made or more. And Lee's starting to take over inside on the glass. K-State running the other way. Poindexter wide open. Cincinnati did not get back, and a timeout used.
You look at those names, and those are also all players that are playing way more minutes than Ioka Lee has so far this season. She's averaging just under 19 minutes a game. Now, some of that, she's missed a couple here or there. They've used load management, and there's been a lot of times where they haven't needed her so far this year. We mentioned at the top, the minutes played are going to go up. Got to make the adjustments defensively, whether you bring a double, triple team, and as we're seeing here this afternoon, other players stepping up to make plays when she doesn't necessarily have to be the offensive focus.
Now, the word that gets used by Jeff Mittie and his staff a lot is gravity. The gravity that she pulls teams into the lane to have to deal with her, it makes open shots for other players.
Well, I always like to say it's you got to pick your poison. You got to make a choice.
Mann, who does not turn down many open shots. Let's go with 3. She had the hot hand of the first half. We'll hear more about Mann coming up from Sophie Smith at her next stoppage.
It's been a stagnant first few minutes here of this third quarter for Cincinnati. They themselves needing to create more chaos, just haven't been able to get the stops they wanted on this end of the floor.
Poindexter, the other transfer that's been a big boon to K-State, adding to that core group. Poindexter here battling for the rebound. It's out of bounds and then back in Manhattan, as you said. Sophie, thank you for that. Chayton still ranks in some of the rankings for K-State in the track program under a new coach. Poindexter hammers a three-pointer right side, and Victor Mann was working to get open. Ariel Jackson a guarded 3. Jillian Hayes the rebound. Great find of Ndiba underneath.
And that is her ability to create on the glass. You see how she just has an instinct to be able to go and get long rebounds, second chance opportunities for herself. And Katrina Merriweather and her staff able to tap in. They signed Dee Alexander, the guard. She plays at Purcell Marion High School. She's the highest ranked recruit in program history, number 10 in the latest ESPN.com rankings. A 5-star kid and just a gamer. And that is one of the things, and it just has meant an incredible amount to the staff and to the Cincinnati program to get that kind of buy-in. A hometown kid that says, I want to be there, you want to build. They understand foundation, and that's what they're doing at Cincinnati.
Now you got Jillian Hayes, who's from Cincinnati. Now Alexander coming.
Come from the state of Ohio. There's been a host of them. Cincinnati can keep some of the talent at home. That means a great deal.
Them to 2 NCAA tournaments.
And it's not easy to do in the Big 12. And I think she would be very honest, whether it's in the gym at practice, in the film room, whether it's on the road, at home, all of those things come into play. But you do it bit by bit. I think the ball got stuck. They were stuck on that right side of the floor, Brian. They had 3 or 4 handoffs, didn't make any space and create any. Now an opportunity here for Cincinnati.
Shot good, and a foul by Sides and a chance at a 3-point play. They counted the shot as a 3. They will look at it. Rebound foul against Cincinnati, Jillian Hayes. We'll take a look at this, Brian Garland said, but it looked like...
Yeah, she is well behind that 3-point line, and as we said, Taryn Sides just trailing on that screen.
See Jesse Dickerson and Brian Garland talking with the table, trying to get the timing right. She misses the first, hits the second. 14 for Poindexter, who scores 11 of that here in the third quarter. And a banked-in three-pointer by Ariel Jackson to end the third. So after a disastrous start,
so they stretched the defense, they got themselves some stops, a couple offensive rebounds, and now see if they can't do exactly what you need to. I would put the ball in the hands of Jaelyn Hayes.
Hayes to the free throw line for two. The foul is on Serena Sundell. That is her first. And Hayes to the free throw line where she's 1 of 2. She'll make the first.
And she is going to go at you, not afraid to be physical, down on that low block, post you up one-on-one, take advantage. Now Kansas State, they've got to have a better 10 minutes here, Brian, on this end of the floor. Better execution, good high percentage shots, make that next pass, go from a good shot to a great shot.
No field goals in the last 4.5 minutes of the third quarter for K-State. And Cincinnati on a 14-2 run on K-State. Counting the end of that third quarter, make it 16. 9 minutes to go in the game. And Poindexter travels with it.
And a turnover right there by Poindexter. That makes it number 12 for K-State here in this game.
So what looked like to be headed a blowout has now become a tight game. And Ariel Jackson, another three. Now a little bit of nervousness. Not that K-State's in danger of blowing the lead, but Cincinnati continues to fight. Ariel Jackson has been a difference maker. Hilton going coast to coast, lays it in.
Three-point range with just 4 made threes. Now 2 big ones here over the course of the last couple minutes.
Lee up strong, it's the roll in. Lee has just 6 points. K-State has not used her for scoring much here today. She does have 4 boards. Cincinnati went 0 of 13 to start the third quarter. Got down 30 points. Glenn got a late block shot. Lee comes in and blocks Hayes. But since that, before those block shots, Cincinnati had gone 8 of its last 9 with 4 threes in 4 tries.
The miss and the quick outlet, she converts on the other end. This goes from a single digit back up to multiple, and that's where Kansas State has to stay.
Third foul on Lee as she caught the arm, right? I mean, they don't want to be in the half court, it seems like.
I feel like it's got to be a balance, and that's what they've gotten some of those looks. They haven't necessarily knocked them down. The other factor, though, I think, Brian, and this is one of the things, is that as guards, I think you can get a little myopic. They're in a silo. They'd assume the only place that ball has to go is into the post. We'll use her as a decoy, allow her to get position. Maybe it's a quick catch and a kick back out to the opposite side. Either way, this offense has to flow through Ioka Lee, but she doesn't necessarily have to score each and every time.
Hilton will pull up for a three-pointer. That's in and out. Poindexter the rebound, kind of really fumbled it out of bounds as she regained her balance, and Kansas State back the other way. So far, these last 2 possessions, K-State's gone quickly with a throw into Lee. Let her take the quick shot. This time she rotates out. The Wildcats get bogged down a little bit now here in the half court. 10 on the shot clock. Lee a little farther away from the basket this time. Doesn't matter.
Exactly what you want out of your All-American.
And we saw that number earlier, just how efficient she is. What a shot hit by Reagan Jackson, who lets Sundell hear about Sundell in transition. Cut by Poindexter. Lays it in.
Not necessarily too much of an issue of her having multiple fouls. The close games on the road.
And we've seen her be judicious when it comes to blocking shots. Another run out for Poindexter. A 20-point game for Temira Poindexter, her second as a Wildcat. They've led by as many as 30. Man was ready to let that go, but thought better of it. Now she'll go one-on-one against Glenn. And Chloe Mann.
Her athleticism. She's got that competitive spirit. Her coaches say she's a winner. All of those things, exactly what you want in young players. Think about the foundation, kind of the mentality of this team, what their identity is. It's going to be that, no doubt.
Tough shot made by Byer. Cincinnati Man's only Power 4 conference offer. She gets a steal here, but throws it away to Walker. But Walker did not see Mann recover and get another steal. Chloe Mann showing all of the toolbox.
She is going to most definitely be one of those players for consistency. Freshmen trying to find their own consistency. Coaches asking a lot.
Sundell up a hard screen by Walker, and Serena becomes the 4th player in double-double today for Sundell, by the way. 11 points, 11 assists. Another baked-in shot.
To build that foundation for what Katrina Merriweather wants to do at her alma mater.
29 in the game earlier this year against Western Illinois. Poindexter straight on three. 23 for Poindexter. Ties her season high, which came against Belmont, one of those great mid-major teams.
Well, you said it, quiet. It has felt like a very quiet 23 points today by the transfer from Tulsa, but you see the effectiveness of her game, whether she's going to step out, knock down threes, hit them in transition, whether she's in the full court off the dribble drive, a handful to contain, and a big piece of this offense for Kansas State.
Man falling to the ground trying to get a foul. Lester on a beautiful feed inside, and Lester with her first field goal. Final 30 seconds. Cincinnati will try and get the final shot here and eclipse 60 points, trim what was a 30-point deficit into the teens.
It was a 66-41 win for Kansas State a year ago when these two teams matched up to open Big 12 play at Cincinnati. They play each other to start the conference season yet again this season, and Kansas State is going to have that first home win and stay at 1-0 in Big 12 play.